Grief. So, we're currently in the town surrounding the Argentum Academy, the most prestigious magic academy in the Arcenciel territory. We are currently in the Vermeil Kingdom, and kind of on their way towards the outskirts of town, where a kind of storage facility for like archived like parchments and stuff is located. We see a draconis man followed by a slightly younger Bestian boy. They both are clad in mage-like attire as they make their way across. On their
Do
way...
you have all of your supplies? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just asking, Johnny, do you have all of your supplies?
Yes, I have taken as much as I could right now. Any others? I think that I only left a few behind.
Very good. It'll have to do.
Alright.
As you're about to get close to this kind of storage facility, you notice a man kind of lurking about in the shadows. He's kind of looking at, almost as if he's kind of investigating something in the area.
Phalor is going to approach him. Sir, do you have business with the Academy or any... Oh, God. Calm yourself!
What the hell? Don't you know not to sneak up on a man?
Sneak up! I'm walking on the main road. You're the one sneaking about.
God damn it, I lost him!
Well, I surely hope you do. I bet that individual, whoever they are, is going about their business.
That individual has just cost me 250 gold by a client that honestly thinks he's been cheating on his wife. And also, probably killing for all I know. Now that's weeks of spying that just down the drain, so thank you very much.
You're welcome. If you don't mind, we have our own business to take care of.
Having noticed people shouting from almost a couple of streets away, a pair of Bestian travelers, kind of having recently just restocked on their supplies, had their weapons kind of maintenance, etc. Hear that there's this large commotion going around in like a bit close to like an alley to the side. It's kind of near the outskirts. And you see a draconis man with a very lanky Bestian boy, half Bestian boy behind him, arguing with a man that's still hiding in the shadows.
Alright, look, I get what you're saying, but we didn't need to buy all of that fruit. We're not going to eat it in time before it spoils, Skaya.
But I'm hungry!
We could have gotten something that's non-perishable. What?
I will just freeze it. It's okay.
We can come back to this. Am I the only one that sees a lizard man arguing with someone in the alley?
And another thing, I spent... Oh, God. How... Just how? How do you not know that I was tracking?
We can
I
calm
know
down
that
a
you are
little bit.
skulking about where you don't have to be.
Should we step in, or...
I feel like they're gonna bust open each other's asses in a second, so probably.
You know what?
I
I don't care anymore. I'm gonna go to the local bar. Fuck you all. I'm done with this.
As the man begins to turn, a sudden wave of kind of nauseating feeling kind of hits everyone in the area.
Oh, God.
It's almost like as if like you can almost feel like something is creeping all over your skin. Like it's this ominous feeling. A slight chill runs down all of your spines.
Mr. Cowder, I don't feel so good.
Out of character,
Calm
real quick.
yourself.
Well, I know what this is by any chance. Out of character question.
None of you would really recognize it at the moment, no.
Okay.
Calm yourself. Phalor is gonna steady himself against the wall and like carefully hold on to John A's arm to keep him steady too.
I'm pulling out a handkerchief of some kind to cover my mouth, my whole face, real quick, because God, this is awful.
Okay. You both parties kind of stagger about. Suddenly, a loud roar is heard from just like an alley away or so.
Phalor is going to start like pounding his wings. Is he gonna see if he can like clear out whatever is causing this stench or this feeling? And then he wants to try slowly pulling Jane towards the sound.
You kind of beat your wings, and you deduce that the likely cause of the ominous feeling is that there is like a very dense amount of ether in the air. It's like almost suffocating, and as you beat your wings, it kind of disperses a bit of the ether out.
Okay.
With a raised tail and a dizzy face, Junaid tries to hold on to Professor Phalor and still trying to carry the supplies with him. Goes with him as he drags his arm.
Stay close. I can only keep the ether away so long.
Yes, sir.
I am gonna assume my character's not that far yet. Ether? This bad smell is ether?
It seems to be that way. Something draining me. So, you remember the backstory I gave you,
Yeah.
Tay? Would this be something that...
It's not similar. It's almost the opposite. Rather than draining, it's more like it's almost like diluting you.
Right. So, yeah, I'm gonna say, yes, I believe it's an excessive amount of ether. If you'd stay close, I believe I can beat it back, whoever you are.
Drake's the
random
name.
citizen.
Nice to meet you, Drake.
Alright, this smells worse than the 10 bodies in the sewer that I found a week ago.
You had
Too much information.
You also notice that there is two bestia that were starting to approach, and it's kind of just now recovering as well from that feeling of ominousness.
Okay, I'm gonna try moving towards them, get everybody together so that I can kind of keep the stench away with my wings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You kind of you are not really tired yet, but you feel like you could probably not keep beating your wings to keep it away for too long more. But you can create a small safe area around you for the time being.
Okay. Once I do that and get everybody together, I want to start moving towards the roar.
You kind of approach the two bestia who kind of notice that the air becomes a lot easier, less heavy, as this Draconis man approaches.
Are you all safe? We have to figure this out.
Oh god, that smells awful.
Good.
Are you two
Lord,
all
I
right?
have to groom my fur again. Do we have any idea as to what's going on?
Drawing ether signature. Not sure. Affecting us all greatly. I can't keep this up forever, though.
That roar. I haven't heard anything like that in this town. I wonder if that's what's been causing the weird things going on around here.
I was about to head that way.
Well, I'm going with you because this is my town as well, and anything strange going on here, well, let's just say I don't want anything to happen to the orphans.
I didn't know there were orphans in this town. I've been studying here for a while.
Well, I can tell you for one that I have absolutely nothing to do with this town or my daughter here, and I just don't like this feeling and I want it to go away, so you can count me in. How about you, kid?
I mean, I'm not gonna leave your side, so might as well go check it out.
Tally ho
There might be a
then.
chance that we could kill something, so.
Oh, you'll get plenty of that in this town.
Sure hope so.
The motley crew makes their way down the alley where the roar
Motley
came
crew.
from. As they do, Phalor leads the way, kind of parting the ether in the air.
I'm already gonna take a moment to take out like my daggers.
All right, you kind of Drake kind of prepares just in case there is something ahead, and as you get into like the alleyway kind of widens up a bit so that it's wide enough where you can kind of stand in kind of more so everyone can see rather than in a single line, and in front you can see what looks to be a wolf bestian man, which is very heavily built, kind of sitting almost like on his knees on the ground, grasping at his the temples of his head as he's kind of growling this guttural growl, almost as if he's in pain of some sort.
Is he okay, sir?
Does not seem to be the case. We should move to help him.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What?
This could be a trap.
Very well.
I can just yeet some ice shard at him. We'll see what he does.
Ah, yes, let's poke the screaming man. Fine, go for it.
Actually, I agree with her. If we can keep some distance, we might be able to see what's going on. I'd say go with her.
I shouldn't hurt him,
Very
More like a
well.
lane shot.
you know.
I
does
sigh
seem
and
to
ready
be
my
thinking.
staff.
Oh my god, Dad!
I'm gonna
As-
draw
as-
my
as-
sword then.
As you are discussing this, another roar comes out. However,
Does it seem to be from him? Or
yes, he gives out this massive roar as the dense ether you felt in the air seems to be thinning out, almost as if it's moving, kind of vacuuming towards this wolf bestian man. As he kind of almost howls at the moon, you can see that his body gets coated in like almost a pitch black, almost oily substance that's then, as it kind of covers, suddenly begins to have like bright red lines across it, and his eyes glow golden as the sun itself.
well, there's our answer.
Fuck.
Oh, what the fuck is going on?
Is this a werewolf?
I think he's just a bestian, but I can never tell. I guess
Just slowly turn and look at you.
Suddenly,
Totally complied.
Suddenly, from you notice that from the kind of roofs surrounding you are other creatures just like this man. These kind of twisted, dark creatures with red lines across them and glowing yellow eyes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Who's noticing this?
All of you kind of seeing that they kind of emerge like from the shadows up top.
Oh, this
Where?
is not good. This. I told you it was a trap. Saying to I don't
Thalor.
Thalor. I'm just gonna put my character's name. Oh wait, it's that there. Yeah, I just said that to Thalor. It's like, told you it was a trap.
Yes, well, I see a man hunked over on his knees. I'm not thinking I'm going to throw an ice rock at him, but very well.
That's smug.
Now that he's a shining, golden, sun-eyed man with tattoos, maybe we should throw ice.
I can throw more than ice, but that wouldn't really help us because I don't think he would like rocks.
So
Either
then,
way, this dog needs to be put down.
well then, let me deal.
What are you dealing? Drugs?
No cards.
Okay.
Then we have these, one of these, one of these,
I like it.
these.
You like what? The drugs?
Get that.
Darnay, ensure that you stay close to me and remember your training.
Yes, yeah, okay.
I just looked down to Skya. Go nuts.
Yay!
The two means of mastery.
Murder!
I just look at her and be like, alright.
Alright then, player's turn. Anyone wants to play first?
I'm gonna. I can't.
Go ahead, go
oh,
ahead.
wait, should we roll to see who goes first?
It doesn't really matter because the enemy's turn, like you are all kind of going to go at the same time. But sure, if you want to, I'll roll me a, let's say a D10.
Okay. It just helps me see who goes first then.
Yeah. So then,
I go last.
yes,
So I go second. Nice.
yes. Axel is first then.
Oh, no, wait, third.
Alright. In that case, I'm gonna go ahead and use my movement to make my way over here and then up here.
All right.
And then I'm going to ready my staff and use a speed attack.
All right. And your second thing is gonna be.
Because you mean like a secondary attack?
Yeah. Which is your second card?
Wait, did I put a speed card down by accident?
No, that's
I'm gonna
last.
I'm gonna double up on a speed
All
speed
right.
card.
You go double up speed. Then roll me 2d4s, please.
I love that sound.
Both are crits. So everyone sees as this lion man kind of readies his stuff, like kind of in a hastily but like very combat ready stance, kind of shuffles his way over to the closest one. You take your staff, you thrust the point of it into the like chest of this creature. As it begins then to kind of shoot its back backwards out of the pain, you kind of spin your staff around and hits it as it is kind of crumpling its head forward in the jaw with the butt of your staff. It lays down before you, heavily wounded, kind of like it doesn't seem that it's going to be possible for it to recover. How do you finish it?
The way I finish it is I just kind of like slam the tip of my staff into the ground, and when I lift it up, like there's like a big clump of earth that comes with it, and I just drop it on his head.
Okay, you basically stab your staff in and form basically a makeshift hammer.
Yes.
And
Awesome.
as precise and with such skill as a blacksmith who has worked for 50 years, you strike down this makeshift hammer as the creature kind of writhes in pain, and suddenly the red lines all over its body begins to kind of glow even brighter until the entire creature almost bursts into light and scatters into what you can probably assume is just pure ether.
I don't think you can drink that, but can.
I basically just kind of like reach out and like try and like grab at it.
You reach out and it feels almost like you as you do, you kind of, it's almost as if something in your mind is telling you that it's something, that this energy is something dangerous.
My tail kind of, the fur of my tail kind of puffs up as I slowly put my hand back and look back to the group. We should probably finish this sooner rather than later.
Understandable.
Can I
And
talk
why's
to them,
that?
This energy I felt feels sinister and it puts me on edge, and rarely anything ever does that. Usually it's her, and I point to my daughter. It's usually her.
though? Excuse me.
I just take a look at his daughter, look back at him, kind of just judging a little bit. It's like, a big guy like you getting scared by these? I guess we are in deep shit.
Hey. You have something else to say, little man?
Not to you at the moment, pretty lady.
I will slice you up, buddy.
Phalor.
I don't think this is the time to flirt.
Kinky.
Phalor,
Okay.
your turn to act.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna move over 2, 3, 4, 5 to this one,
All right.
and I'm going to do. Wait. Oh. 2 strong attacks.
Okay, you're going for the big damage then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see then. Okay. You do you attack with your sword then, or do you want to use magic?
I'll start off with my sword.
All right. You pull out your sword and kind of, as you kind of spread your wings and start kind of gliding towards the creature up on the roof, you hold the sword above your head,
Oh,
And-
whoops! I put in 1d8. That's fine.
and as you are kind of hovering above,
Question.
roll me two. It's 2 dice.
Oh, whoops!
2d6.
Oh, that was d8. Oops.
Yeah, 2d6.
That's fine. Practice roll. D6. 2. Okay. Roll. There we go. Ooh,
Alright.
that's much better.
Yeah, you, let's see, so that one is a, let's see, so 5, okay, so you kind of cleave downwards as you are kind of almost free falling from the air. And you cleave a large gash in its left shoulder.
Ah, that's how it's done.
And as you finish that, you then follow through by just kind of grabbing its like you spin around, grab its grab it by the arm, like the upper arm, and then just force your sword through its chest.
Sashia would never.
See, and as you've done that, you see the opportunity now that you have kind of have the momentum. Then when it's already on your blade, you just put some bit of electricity in your blade and kazap.
Zap.
Kazaa!
You see
It's
its
like those
muscles.
electric fly swatters.
You see its muscles twitch as it's kind of just shot off your sword from the electricity, and it's lying on the floor, completely defenseless. How do you finish it?
I'm going to take my right arm and just put this ball of electricity into it, and then I'm going to force it down into the thing's heart.
You create like an
Chidori.
orb of electricity, and then you just slowly kind of just push it inside, and you hear the like crackling noises of electricity burning away at the insides, and it also
Burn away
shatters
and be
into
purified.
light after its red marking begins to glow, and then light aether.
Be purified. Dane, take notes.
I sir, I didn't know you could move like that. You seem way too old.
I will have you know I am in the prime of my years. Continue.
Great. Drake, having seen these two combatants take care of one of these creatures each on each side, what do you do?
First, I like to try to see if I can scan around and see, because knowing how big they are compared to me, I want to see if I can use something like, I want to try to light one of them on fire if I'm able to.
All right. Give me a the 20 and you have an advantage on it.
Okay. Ooh, 19.
You can roll again if you want to have an advantage.
Oh, okay.
19 is the highest, so that's the one that counts. You look around kind of, and after the hammer strike from the Lion Man, you notice that a bit of like a kind of a wooden fence kind of that was kind of fencing off a part of the alley broke,
Okay.
and there's like a loose plank that's very nice size to hold in your hand next to the kind of over here roughly.
Okay. I'll move my way over there. Why can't I move?
Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go.
Oh, thank you. Alright, I pick that up. I'm assuming I can still attack, like,
Yes.
with a throw?
Yeah,
Okay,
you can
I take a look at the... I'll do this. I'll take a look at that one right here,
Yes.
and I basically am trying to just throw it like a spear and hopefully it gets stuck in him.
Okay. Give me another d20 for the throw to see how good you can throw. You have advantage on that as well. Well,
Yeah!
you don't need the advantage.
Holy shit.
All right. Give me your attack cards for this then. You are succeeding in landing an attack.
I guess that will be skill and strength, because I want to make sure it gets in there.
All right. So what you do is you kind of roll me a d6 and a d4. Okay. Yes. So what you do here is you kind of just javelin throw it the hardest you can straight at this creature, and it hits it straight in the kind of like forehead,
Yes.
catching it on fire, and the piece of wood that was a cause kind of bounces with a satisfying clonk into the air, and then lands on top of the creature's head again. However, it doesn't seem to do anything, but you hear another very satisfying clonk.
Conk.
Hey, I'll take it.
And that is...
Got hit with the bong stick on that one.
But I got that thing in the head, so like straight in the head. I'm happy.
Yes. Okay. Then,
Okay.
while you kind of made your way over to to the wood and put it on fire, and then threw it. Skya, what are you doing?
Okay, let's see. Let me check my movement.
Aside
real
from
quick.
salivating at the death.
Yes! The sweet smell of blood and everything. Death. Death is great. Okay, let me see.
Lord Roger is not well adjusted.
Can I find a what?
She is not well adjusted. I know, isn't it adorable?
I will legit end your life. I need to figure out how to do this thing. Okay, wait.
Not gonna lie though, she's gonna say Destiny.
Sir, I don't want to be near the skull.
Wait, can anyone else see that? What I'm doing?
The
Yeah.
ping,
Yeah, the ping.
Okay, that makes it a little easier.
Okay, wait. So like, oh, there we go. I'm gonna go like up there, there.
Yes, that's fine.
so I can bonk the little thing on the right.
Yes.
And I will smack 2 skill cards at him.
All right. Do you want to attack with? Currently don't have your tool of destruction right now. So do you want to like kind of just martial art or claw at it, or do you want to use magic specifically only?
I'm just gonna bite him.
Yeah, let's go with claws and biting because why not?
All right. You kind of sneak up very stealthy, very agile, almost unnoticed by anyone else. And as the second clunk happens, or from before, from the wooden brand, it's like bonk from the first one, then clunk from the second one. Before anyone has even noticed, you just teared like all 5 fingers on both hands, and just made like a 5x5 grid across this thing's chest. Give me 2d4s.
2d4s.
Okay.
Yes, and as soon as it's now been, as you have clawed at it and it's tender, you then just give it a nice chomp as the thing kind of staggers back, weakened with a decently sized cavity now in its chest. How do you want to finish it? It's already burning, by the way.
Oh boy, burning, huh? Might as well just freeze every single cell in its body and then shatter it.
You as you finish, you kind of just stare it straight in its dying eyes as it basically just begins to freeze from its outer extremities up until its face is completely frozen. And as it is, a crack appears, and it just shatters into small pieces of ice that then melt away, revealing once again this kind of light magic ether energy kind of dispersing into the air.
I definitely don't want to be next to her. So good.
I'm just standing there impressed, honestly.
And I just start clapping. Good girl.
After having seen all of this happening, Yene, what do you do now?
I slowly edge forward to 1, 2, 3, 4. I edge forward between these two here.
Can
I
you
don't know how to ping.
either hold down your mouse?
I'll click and hold.
There we go.
Alright,
so-
let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yep.
Okay, and then I use 2 skill attack cards.
Okay, what elements for each of them?
So, let me check here. For one of them, I am going to cast fire on the guy to my left.
Okay,
And for the second, I will cast Earth on Axel.
alright. So, you roll, give me 2d4s just for the success.
Okay. There we go.
Alright,
Ooh, one's a crit though.
yes.
Pretty good one.
Just backwards, you catch me on fire.
No, that's the earth spell that's directed at you already. So first off, you kind of kind of turn your staff around in your hand, so that the what used to be the back end of it begins to glow kind of orangey red. You then kind of just point it in the general direction of this creature, and with a moment's notice, a kind of almost like a rod of fire starts spinning out of it, kind of as if almost like a kind of boomerang of fire, basically.
Collateral damage.
Hitting it for there we go, and then +1. There you go. And as you do this, you then turn your staff back around again, so that the top end now begins glowing kind of almost yellow. You then point that towards the axle, and while you think that you kind of misaligned the effects, it does give Axel a +1 defense for 1 turn.
Nice.
I thought he didn't want to stand next to me, huh?
This is not an arrangement I'm happy with.
Let's see, and then there. So that's that. There we go.
I'm just putting
And
this on him so he can get the other guy fast.
And then what you do after that, once you've done these 2 attacks, because you have a double up as well, is you then kind of, now that you already have your staff charged with fire and earth, you then in front of you, spinning it to kind of combine, so that the fire and earth and kind of spin around, creating paths that kind of combine into one. And out of it, you then shoot a kind of molten rock almost at this creature, causing it to take to the ground, as it's basically stuck underneath this kind of almost volcanic rock. As it's stuck under this rock, what do you want to finish it, and if so, how?
I would like to just make this molten rock basically envelop it and just make it so that this creature cannot be seen at all underneath it.
You kind of focus your energy towards the fire spectrum, and while it is difficult for you, you just about manage to kind of melt down the rest of the rock so that it kind of just melts out over the creature. And then from between some of the cracks and like openings in the cover you've made, you can see particles of light ether kind of seeping through them.
I have never done that before. Okay, that worked.
Done, young one.
Yes.
Now it's then the enemy turn. So, the remaining creature now, seeing that its comrades have been taken down very swiftly, it's gonna begin trying to kind of make its retreat away, and it's kind of gonna scurry away as far as it can to start with. Back to player turn then. Let's see, Alex, you are first in the turn order. Or Axel, rather. And I'm gonna deal 2 new cards to everyone.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't have much movement to get anywhere. Guess 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll move over here.
Alright.
And then from this angle, would I be able to like get a shot of like basically just like creating like a shotgun blast of earth?
You could, let's see, let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would require quite you to be quite lucky with your aim, but you could potentially. Roll me a d20 to see if you have that luck.
All right, come on, RNGesus, be kind. Oh.
Never.
Ah.
Oh.
Okay, give me your
It's
attack.
forgiving.
Cards.
I'm gonna go with a strong.
Strong card?
And yeah. And then one more,
Yes, go ahead.
and then a skill.
Okay, so you basically do like a couple of smaller rocks and one large rock, just in
Sounds good.
case.
Yeah.
Go get him, Dad!
And then 2d4.
Yes. No, 1d6, 1d4.
Okay. D6.
All right. And a d4.
And D4.
Okay. So what you do is you shoot out three. First off, you kind of create like rip out of the ground one large rock and then three small rocks. You then kind of just almost like hurl three rocks with like telekinetics almost in the general direction where the thing is running away. And you hear like a as they kind of hit buildings around it. Seeing that this didn't work, you then push the big rock up into the air and then basically baseball bat it with your staff.
Yes.
Bonk!
Dealing.
Call the shot.
See, let's see. It wasn't a crit, so that means it's that much damage. As you hear it like gonk as it hits and kind of shatters into small pebbles. But you can still hear the footsteps of the creature kind of trying to scurry away.
Lady.
Okay, and next then was Phalor.
Who is gonna go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I want him to try to do like an electrical attack onto it. Could he hit him diagonally, or would he have to be closer?
You can attack it with magic. So if you use I think you have skill attacks have increased range for you.
Okay. So, would I only be able to use the skill attack then, or?
Yes,
Okay.
unless you want
So
to
the-
throw your sword at it.
I think I'll keep my sword in my hands for now. So I'll just use the skill attack.
All right. You make your way over there and then only do one attack instead.
Okay.
Which means you can double up then. Let's see, but that means that currently we have the potential for that. Okay. Roll me a d4.
All right. Fuck. Okay. I'm gonna give it a little shock.
You kind of unleash like a small bolt of lightning. However, because of how hastily you had to do it, it's not enough to really hit it. It kind of just it senses your presence as it hears your wings approach and kind of jots to the side.
It was a warning shot.
Okay, Drake.
Alright, seeing these two do that and seeing how big the axle is in front of me, I get an idea and I quickly ask him, how good is your aim?
Oh.
I'm dead serious. Axel, how good is your aim?
It's passable.
Throw me. I know it sounds weird.
I just immediately grab him by the collar.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that, but okay.
As you finish your sentence, you're suddenly noticing that you are at least a meter above ground. Suspended
That's
by
just
your
like,
own
I should
collar.
have thought this through.
Suspended by your own collar. Suddenly,
That-
you feel the collar being heavily pulled in one direction. Axel, roll me a d20 for the throw.
You two need a moment alone.
I'm just waiting for a nat 1 faceplant to the wall.
Oh god, this is going.
Oh
Okay.
Okay. Drake, suddenly, before you even realize what's happened, you the only thing you see before you feel the impact is the only thing you see as before you take damage or is you see blue scales.
Oh great.
I want both Drake and Phalor to roll me a d4 of damage taken at this impact.
D4. Oh, thank God.
I just look I
The
just look
one
over-
time you
I just
want a
look-
low roll.
Damn it.
I just look over to Sky and I'm like, well, I got him over there technically.
Well, I honestly didn't expect you to hit it because you can't even hit me with a fucking apple.
Okay, listen here, you little shit.
We must hold back this.
Phalor, you literally you fire off this lightning bolt. As you say, it's just a warning shot. Suddenly you feel an impact in your back.
That's not a warning shot.
You okay there, old man?
I am in the prime of my youth.
So, you are kind of like temporarily kind of like stunned, shocked. You can't really attack or act this turn other than that. Kaya, you see this happen. What do you do?
Stop laughing at me. My wings are flailing everywhere.
I'm
It's just,
just like, God, your scales hurt.
Okay,
yes, I'd hope so.
Remy, I'm glad I'm not the only one that went there, Remy.
so I'm gonna move like up there.
All right.
I should be able to attack with my ice magic, right? From this distance.
Yes, you should very much be because you can use your ice magic, or you could use your drainy.
My drainy.
Yes.
It's rainy.
My drainy?
Yes. If you have strong cards, you can use your life drain / transfer. Otherwise, you can just use ice magic.
I have one strong card. Okay, let's see the strong and the skill at that boy.
Right. So you will deal. Do you want to just do the damage part, or do you want to transfer the health you deal damage?
I
to
want to
something?
transfer the health to Phalor.
Okay. So give me a d6 and a d4.
Okay, let's go d6 and d4.
Okay. So you.
I thought Sky was making that noise.
What?
I'm hearing like a.
Oh yeah, that happens when you roll.
Okay, I swear to God, I thought it was Sky making that noise.
So you kind of tap into your kind of animalistic instincts as you kind of almost imagine your kind of own arms kind of grabbing hold of the very life essence of the creature in front of you trying to run away. And you then basically just yank like in your mind, you just yank a piece of that life energy and just yeets it straight into Phalor, who is next to it.
Why is everyone throwing things at me?
Just gotta tickle a bit, you'll be fine.
Phalor, as this is happening, you see this kind of almost shadowy dark substance kind of gets like exposed out of this creature, and then just go straight into your chest. But you feel energized suddenly from it.
Ah, like an Energizer Bunny. What is that?
What's a bunny?
Sorry, you're
I
being very
think it's a
meta
kind
right
of bestian.
Don't worry about it.
Oh shit.
now.
As
Sorry,
you
we've only been breaking the third walls, not the fourth one.
as you
I
finish
will break as many rules as I please. Sorry.
as you finish doing this, you then see that your work is done, and you then fire off a shot of lightning like an arrow. Where are you aiming so that it gets finished?
We're going straight through the fucking head. Make that shit explode.
You can, you get straight through the temple, and it evaporates as well.
Nine.
Okay.
Johnny, are you well?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just confused and there's a lot going on.
Man, I'm in a lot of pain. Ow.
Yes, well, you were thrown in my ass.
And that's the closest I've ever want to be. So, no.
I ain't
I-
sure about that.
Anyhow, what were those things? Anything? They looked like bastions. They...
I don't run into very many bastions. You guys are?
I mean, it turned from a bastion, didn't it?
Did... You, who was the local?
That'd be me.
Did he perhaps look like someone you knew?
Do I need a roll to see if he did look like someone I knew or not?
Yeah, you can roll to see if you recognize him.
D20 like D&D rules.
Yeah, roll d20 for this.
Okay. 11.
You think maybe he might have been a client or a target at some point, but you can't really tell because this area does have a lot of K9 bestias. So it's a bit difficult to tell. Like they kind of blend together. You work for so many people that it's
Okay.
hard to be exactly sure.
Gotcha. A little hard to say. This could have been the guy that I was actually after. As far as what or who he was, I actually have no idea. Mainly because I get a lot of contracts for I've been getting a lot of contracts for a lot of thespians lately.
Well, I don't know what his orientation has to do with anything.
Sometimes I get contracts to tail someone for information. Other times it's contracts to take care of them.
Kinky.
This could- I just look over to her. Not in that way.
That's what you say.
It's okay, I understand. Sometimes people are lonely and they need help.
See, the old man gets me.
Anyhow, the point is, if there's a potentiality that these were people, there's something happening in this town, and people are not safe.
Yeah. Everyone can roll a d20 for perception, just to see if they kind of notice anything.
Well, I'm still dazed here.
I'm legit just a fucking potato. I'm just like,
To be fair, Drake, you have advantage on perceptions and situational awareness. You get to roll a second one and get the time.
Oh,
take the
right.
high.
I keep forgetting. Does
And
that
that's,
say anywhere in
Yeah.
my...
It's at the top of your passive.
Mind over matter grants advantage perception and such. Oh, okay.
and
Again, you think I would read? Oh, nice.
Since I also rolled.
While this guy is kind of just reveling in the destruction. Drake, you kind of like you're a bit dizzy, but then you kind of shake your head a bit to kind of get back into it, and both Phalor and Janae, you also notice that just next to Drake, you also notice this. There is what seems to be some sort of almost medallion. It's a circular object made of some sort of metal. It has a crest imprinted on it that you don't completely recognize, at least not out on the top of your head.
Wait a second. I pick up the medallion. How did you get this? Alright, I might know of someone who can figure out what this is. It looks familiar, but my knowledge only goes so far. I'm taking the lead?
Yeah.
Is that what you just said? Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I had an idea at first. I look over to Phalor, kind of look him up and down. I take it you have a lot of book smarts, am I right?
Yes, I studied for many a year in the Argentum Academy.
Maybe you know what this symbol is.
Allow me to take a look.
I hand it over to him.
I'm going to inspect the medallion and see if I recognize it. Is the picture posted somewhere? Or?
No, I don't have a picture for it.
Oh, okay.
For now. You kind of inspect it a bit. Roll me just a d20 to see how likely you are to recognize this.
Shit. It seems to have not come up in my studies.
Yeah, it looks similar to the language that ancient magic is usually written in, as in that it's a similar kind of strokes that has probably created this symbol. Mm-hmm. So it's probably in the same language, which is a language that like existed before the time of the Great Divide. But no one really knows the language, so you don't know if this is actually something from back then, but it has a similar kind of style to it, at least.
Very old, I can tell you that. Nobody uses the language that this is written in, but well, as you can probably imagine, that's all I really know.
Then I might have no choice. That's alright. I was just hoping I wouldn't have to actually go see him.
Is he someone you took care of?
More of a old friend that I might have a falling out with. So he helps me. He helps me out with certain contracts, but the last few, let's just say, were questionable. All of you are welcome to join, because now I'm guessing whatever turned those people into monsters. No. There's just a good chance we might have targets on our backs now, knowing how this town is.
Well, if I have a target on my back, it's already been struck. So, let's be awake.
Fine. I just start taking off into the direction of a local shop that I know. I stop for a moment and be like, before we go, what all are your names anyway?
I am Phalor. This is my student Johnny.
Hi.
Okay, Phalor. Dying lizard. Johnny. And you two are?
Well, my name is Skaya.
And
Pleasure.
I am her father, Axel.
I took a look at the two.
Father.
I take a look at the two and it's like, okay, adoption. Okay.
I will literally tear you to pieces and feed you to the fucking dogs.
Axel,
No.
give me a d20.
I put my hand on her head. It's okay. It's okay.
Axel, give me a d20 to check how good you are, how strong you are to hold her back.
I'm not really trying. No one insults my family.
You casually kind of just half-heartedly kind of try to kind of keep her back for now. Drake, continue for now.
It's like, should I roll a? How loud did Skya say that? Was it like a shout or was it like a whisper?
I think that was quite audible.
It was loud, but not a shout.
All I could think of afterwards is just like, honestly, that's not the worst thing that I've been called today, or it's been said to me today. All right.
Yeah.
What?
I said we can change that.
There's a lot of
Spirit is good.
undertones to this conversation. I don't know what.
It'll be fine, Johnny. Don't worry about it too much. It seems like you're not the target.
Okay.
All right.
Yet.
Then all of you just stay close. Don't attract attention. Not until we get about halfway.
You make your way into a part of this town that, despite having both since Yene and Phalor has studied here, despite having done that, especially Phalor, despite having been here for many years, you don't think you've ever really been in this part of the city.
The Red Light District.
No, but it is a bit. It's a bit of a kind of. Let's just say it's a bit. It seems like a bit of a rowdy place, and as you kind of follow Drake into this kind of. It looks kind of like a shack, kind of on like the outskirts of town, but as you kind of enter, you hear a so surprisingly kind of welcoming feeling as you hear the sound of music and laughter and kind of conversation coming out of this shack. As you can see, like a couple of musicians kind of standing, regaling a tale of an ancient mage that kind of saved the kingdom. You're not sure if it's actually true or if they are just kind of coming up with a story. There is a couple of kind of drunken stupors, kind of a couple of people kind of laughing very heartily in a corner. A couple of people you see seem to be kind of rolling dice. There's money on that table. And behind the counter in this building that Drake is immediately heading towards stands a man who seems not very young, so to speak. He seems very old. He is what you would assume to be at least in his 70s or 80s at best. But you see that he has like this glint in his eye. It's almost as if he's like a hawk, kind of looking over the guests and customers as his prey, almost making sure that no one steals them from him.
I would. The aura is good, but I'm not sure I would like him staring at me that way.
I will bite him.
Trust me. You don't. Trust me. The fact that he hasn't come up to you already is a good sign. Now, if you all excuse me, you can have your place at one of the tables or at the bar, and I take a look at Skya because I heard that. Please don't bite anyone. And I'm asking very nicely.
Phalor is going to approach the musicians and kind of see if their story has any like historical factor behind it, kind of, or maybe it connects to their situation potentially. Listen.
Okay. You kind of go about as you do. You kind of get caught before you can even finish walking anywhere by two kind of Bestian, what looks to be kind of construction workers. One of them seems to be a carpenter, and the other seems to be a mason. They are kind of drinking away, kind of. Oh wow! Not every day we see a Draconis in these parts. Take a seat. We would like to hear more about you and your kind. The other one.
Have fun, Dragon Boy.
The other one kind of,
Dress.
oh, Greg, keep it down, you know, it gets, we don't want to cause any kind of disputes here.
Did you know that Draconis can grow their size by 10 times? At will.
The one that you assume is called, the one that you assume is called Greg kind of goes, wow, that's incredible. Well, sit down, I'll treat you. Waitress, give me a, yes, dragon breath. A whole big glass for this fellow. And he kind of pats you on the back, almost hurting himself on your shoulder spike.
Okay.
Be careful where you hit. Our spines can cause instant death.
He kind of almost falls out of his chair backwards.
I kind of flash a smile at Johnny.
I pluck my nose and I start sniffing around like the table that he went to and looking around at all the people.
As you're kind of looking around a bit, Drake, you approach the counter. Axel and Skya, what are you doing? Kind of while Drake has
Gaia is just running off to the bar, getting a few drinks.
Oh, great.
I walk over to keep an eye on her.
You kind of because of your size, you kind of like, excuse me. You're way through.
She's just like darting through everybody.
And I'm just easily going, whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah, deftly and experience, you kind of make your way through the crowd. You see this guy calling, like talking with a waitress, ordering what you sense would be probably an alarming amount. As the old man kind of at the counter kind of looks at you. Well, it was not yesterday you came by here.
Yeah.
Well, what offers me the pleasure?
Well, I am wondering if you know anything about this. And I put the medallion on the counter.
Well, you do know that my services are not charity, right?
I take a look around and sleight of hand put a small sack of gold on the counter. Yes, the charity. So, will this be enough to jog that memory?
Roll me a d20 to see if you have enough to pay.
God, I hope I do.
Yeah, you do. Kind of. Usual rate, I see. Well,
Yep.
alright then. He kind of turns it around in his hands, kind of moving it around. It's he kind of looks at it with both his eyes from different angles. He kind of then he grabs a bottle from next to him from behind the bar, pours it into a glass that's standing on the counter so that it's emptied, smashes the bottle against the counter, and then uses the back part of the bottle as like a magnifying glass.
After all these years, you still refuse to wear glasses?
You stay quiet, youngster.
You haven't changed.
Well, ain't this fascinating?
Dad, what the fuck?
I see. Yeah. Mind me asking how you came upon this?
I take another look around just to make sure no one is either within earshot or is sober enough to look over.
The only one close enough by is a waitress and Skya, and the owner kind of waves slightly to kind of leave us alone, please, to the waitress.
Okay. Alright, I lean in closer. Well, I had a run-in with some thespians. Or at least, I believe they were thespians. They ended up having this weird red glow, and during the scuffle, one of them had dropped that.
Well, you see, this symbol, it's not one that I've seen in many years. I can't tell you what it means, but I know a fellow that probably can. You see, an old contact of mine found that there is a collector in this town of, you see, he happens to have something in his collection with the same symbol on it. I don't know why he has that item, but he probably knows why.
Then I got one last question before I order my usual drink. That symbol. Do I need to worry?
I don't know, honestly. For once I'm actually just as curious as you are. Though if I were in your boots, first off I'd wash them. Secondly though,
Doggo.
I'd probably make sure... I'd probably stay away from the back alleys during night alone.
You know me better than that, man. That's where all the good clients are.
Well,
But
your choice of work is a waste of that what little talent you have.
alright. Thanks for the tip. And where exactly can I find this collector? Is he well known?
You see, there is this Etoile in town who's currently vying to gain control. He's currently trying to rise to the position of minister of the kingdom's affairs. You see, he has this peculiar fascination, or I should say mania, with magical objects. He lives in the... he kind of turns around to kind of look over towards a corner. He lives in the less welcoming parts, if you know what I mean. The place where your and my kind isn't easily welcomed.
So if I get this straight, it's a politician who has an obsession with old artifacts.
Along
Great.
those lines, yes.
And if he's going for a bishop, that means he's a holy man, and that just makes this a lot more fun. Thanks for the tip, then. Yeah. And, okay, at this point, I just take a look at, to kind of make sure that everyone that that followed me here is not causing a problem.
Yeah. You look out over the rest of the bar, and you see your two of the bestias basically, in what you're not sure if it's a familiar hug or if it's trying to rip each other's throats out. The dragon man has just collapsed backwards in his chair is lying on the floor. dead out.
Oh no.
And Janae has probably not got much tolerance either, and is currently collecting dust from the musical instrument of one of the bards.
I'm glad to see we're all doing so well while you do your work.
We're just all dying.
At this point, I just look back at him and just say, they're not with me.
Wait, sir, did you see this dust is a different color to the rest?
Well, yes, that's because it's the cell, it's Hellel itself.
Oh, great.
Are you having a stroke?
No, but not from you. It's too young.
Drake, you begin heading out. Axel, since you are still at your mind's capabilities, you see that Drake is starting to make his way out of this shack.
Oh, this might not be good.
I give, on my way out, since Skya is close to me, I just give her a little tap and be like, and just whisper, time to go.
Are they just gonna leave us?
Sky just grabs Axel by the paw and then goes and collects the dragon boy and the little ferret boy and just like shoves them out of the room.
No, wait, there's more.
Why they have another drink for me?
No.
I think you've had enough.
I'll be fine. I haven't partied in 20 years. I need this.
Drake, as you leave the shack, behind you see Skya kind of gallivanting very happily, pulling Janae by the leg.
Leave the boy alone.
And following afterwards, Axel is carrying a half unconscious, half conscious Phalor, as if he was like a slab of meat over his shoulder.
I just slung over my shoulder. All right, let's go. You have him, honey? Let's go.
Oh yeah, I have him. Maybe not
Alright.
I should have him, but
Can you walk in a straight line for me? Just straight. No, you're veering. That's the road. Oh dear.
Phalor is going to
I
start
just
beating
leave
his
the door
wings.
open for all of them.
They're just drunkenly walking around the road.
Oh god.
And I just take a look. Oh god, I just take a look at all this and be like, they ordered the special drink, didn't they?
Sky is just dragging Janae by his leg, being like, you see, you can collect more dust down there. Just make sure you don't hurt your face. That might hurt a bit.
But
Dragon's breath. It was made for me.
Huh?
What? I'm sorry, what?
Dragon's breath. It's the drink that they gave me. It was made for me. I am a dragon. Did you notice that?
They just spike
I
it
thought you
more
were a
with
gecko.
gin. It has nothing to do with dragons.
Commoners always lie so.
I will freeze your mouth shut if you don't stop.
I just give a laugh and just say, welcome to the underbelly.
My belly is just as uptight as it's always been. I'm very toned.
So is your ass.
Hey, you need to stop.
Ah! I will freeze both of your mouths shut if you don't stop.
Can this woman let me go, please?
No.
Phalor is going to try to
her
help
point now.
Johnny stand.
Okay, I just get a little. I'm assuming we're just walking away from the bar, and then afterwards I stop for a moment, turn around, just look at everyone. It's like, okay, you guys can choose to follow me if you want, though I'm giving you a heads up on this one. Where we're going to have to go to figure out this medallion, and I pull it out again. We're gonna have to go into a district where
Red light.
no, we can go. Actually, what time of day is it right now?
It's currently kind of. You'd say it's late afternoon. People are probably starting to get back home from work and stuff at this point.
Okay. Right now, this is probably the perfect time to go there, but people from this district are not exactly welcome there.
Huh?
However,
Sky just throws Janae on the floor and just jumps at Drake's neck and like bites into it.
Roll me
you're biting
a
my
D.
hand?
Roll me a D4.
And
2 damage to Drake.
Ow!
I casually just walk over. That's enough. Just like grab, just grab her by the collar. Just pick her up. Let's go.
no!
Ah! You're probably fun in the bedroom. God damn it!
I'm what now?
You see all the hair on my neck stand up as I slowly turn and look at you. This like 2.3, 7'5" tall lion dude just slowly turns and looks at you with fury in his eyes.
It's like, sorry, force a habit.
Huh? I will
We-
beat your ass.
What
I
about
turned
our
to the-
errand with the academy? Are
I
we
just
done with
slowly
that?
put her back down.
The academy. Where's the academy located? It might be in the same district.
Is the
It's-
academy in the same district?
It's in the same direction, but it's further ahead. Like you get to the district where a lot of the posh people live before you reach the academy currently.
Okay. After we help with these ones, we shall continue to the academy and report our findings. I'm sure they'll very much enjoy learning about what we've seen today, and if we could, once we're done with where we're going with you, Mr. Drake, if we could take the medallion to them and see if there's an individual there who has experience. It is a very strong bastion of magical influence as well, after all.
I just think about this for a minute and take a look at the medallion. Of course. However, there's always the finder's fee.
We both found it. I don't know if you remember, but we were all killing those things.
I killed too.
Alright. Returner's fee then. For services. Anyway. Let's go before we lose light. This place isn't exactly nice at night.
Very well.
I start
The-
walking off to the direction then.
The group make their way towards the more posh part of the town. As you kind of go beneath building roofs above, you can see kind of lights from above. As you get closer, it starts to open up more. It starts to shift from like houses that are kind of built close to each other to save space to like larger manors. There seem to be yards, kind of, until you reach the very posh area where there's a lot of like full-scale mansions kind of around this part.
We must be nearing home.
Yeah, welcome to the rich area.
Yeah.
Yes, I quite remember thinking that I could buy my family a place here once I'm all well established.
I forget which one of these places my mother wanted to rent, but got another one just down, like, across the district a bit.
I'm kind of ignoring their conversation and trying to figure out which house it is that I'm supposed to go to for the collector.
Skya basically just dances across the street.
You make your way, followed by the chatting Phalor and Janae, and where Sky's kind of dancing off in a different direction for the moment. Drake, you think you found a mansion in question. Outside stands a kind of armed guard, kind of not exactly like at at attention, but like he's kind of leaning towards the gate with his kind of lance kind of underneath his arm, kind of keeping it in his armpit, kind of. casually guarding the gate. He sees you arrive and kind of gives you kind of a wave of like, halt, right there.
Evening. Is the master of this house home?
Evening. Assume you are seeking Master Novell.
Correct. And I take a look back at them real quick. And look back. My merry band and I have an artifact that he may be interested in.
I see. He kind of he kind of pulls out a flag from like a little cup, like the hidey hole next to the gate, kind of waving it in a very specific manner. And he then looks towards the manager. You don't really know at what he's looking. Well, it seems that Master Novell is accepting visitors. However, do keep in mind that he's currently hosting a little banquet with some of his colleagues, so do please keep your manners in check.
Oh, good sir. I always keep my manners in check when dealing with the rich.
Well done.
Unfortunately, I left my fancy pants at home.
Well done. With a bit of disdain, kind of, the master usually wants to meet new visitors in his office. Just make your way through the main hall and up the stairs, and then there's the first door to the right.
Thank you. I go ahead and walk past him a few moments, and then I take a look back and motion everyone else to come along.
You three make your way there, whereas when Axel and Sky kind of catch up with what they think would be where the group is is already gone somewhere and you don't really know where.
It seems we've lost some of our friends. I don't know.
You see, this is why we don't
Acquaintances?
But
If you're going to, I don't care if you dance, just dance nearby.
I take a look back. It's like, shook. I take a look at Yane and just say to him, "Can you go get them, please?"
Sure. How do I find them?
I'm assuming they're right back at the gate.
Okay. Let me go check. So.
Skya basically just waddles left and right.
Just look around for anyone who's making a commotion and clearly does not belong around in this place.
It'll be very easy.
What if she attacks me?
You'll be fine, my child. Remember your
It's a
training.
valid concern.
She just goes feral every now and then. It's okay, you'll survive.
Remember your
But did
training
you die?
and squeal as loud as you can.
Try not to smell like food.
How did you die? A feral fox dragon thing attacked me.
Well,
So yes,
Drake,
Renee goes out and it goes
Yeah.
to the gate and looks
you head
around.
towards back outwards. Meanwhile, Drake and Thaylor, you make your way towards this office in question. Thaylor, you've kind of started coming back, but you still have a bit of a headache.
Yeah, I'm gonna grasp my head every so often when I think nobody's looking.
You make your way inside this office, and it's almost it's kind of gives you a kind of weird feeling. Unlike most places you've been, the floor is made of metal, the roof is metal, the walls are metal. There is the windows are normal windows, but like everything else is kind of metallic, there's like pipes kind of going everywhere. There's tubes of what seems to be some sort of magical energy almost coursing through them.
Is this man in a home or an airship?
I tend not to ask too many questions when it comes to the rich.
My life is asking questions. So,
Not if you and my life is just surviving.
As you finish your little whispering, you hear the door from behind kind of close with a loud metallic clunk.
I'm immediately looking for exit points.
I just take a look back calmly, trying not to show any facial recognition of a jump.
Well.
Meanwhile, I just slowly let my claws out. I just like slowly extend my claws without making any sort of like motion towards it at all. Just.
Well,
Uh-oh.
That's fine,
Who did we
Jin.
just lose?
That was Jin, don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah. The man that's kind of, you'd say maybe like at least 1.5 head shorter than you, Drake. Kind of walks into a room. He's clad in like this pristine white garb with an almost translucent blue cape almost draped over his shoulders. His hair is almost glowing like sun rays, and his pale skin makes it hard to make out any facial features without really staring. Well,
You're the master, I presume?
yes, I see I have guests. Name's Ernovel. I heard you came interested in my collection.
Yes. We may have a medallion that might pique your interest.
Oh, how intriguing. Well, can I see this medallion then?
I slowly reach into my pack to pull it out. I take a look at Phalor and give him a look of saying, just stay calm. And then I pull out and show him the medallion in my palm. Yes. All we know is that this is very old, and no one seems to remember where it came from.
Ah, yes. Ah, yes, indeed. This is very interesting. He kind of turns to his guests. He kind of floats throughout the room, still keeping eye contact as he floats towards the window in the room. You see, this medallion, as you call it, is actually a key. A
keys
key.
take many forms.
Yes.
A key
Specifically.
to what, though?
Well, he kind of turns out towards the window now, breaking eye contact. And he kind of flips it into his hand, so that it's so he can flick his thumb, basically making it do a coin toss flip in the air, grabbing it back with the same hand. Well, the key to. He turns back towards you. Unlimited power.
All power is limited. It just depends what the pool has in it.
I slowly look over to Sky and just kind of chuckle.
Are they? I don't think they're in the room yet.
Nope, you guys are still outside the mansion. It's only Phalor and Drake inside.
Yeah, and crap, hold on, what was his name? And Yane is trying to find you guys.
Yep.
Or is with you guys at the moment.
I'm just sitting in a bush now.
Still finding them.
Are you watching John right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't touch
And
my
then
student.
And then I just look over at Phalor and then back at what was the master's name again?
Mr. Novell. Air Novell, to be exact.
Okay. And who might be looking for this power, would you say?
Oh, you see, it has this peculiar power to absorb magical energy. And you know, once you can absorb magical energy in such a small object, imagine what one would be able to do with something the size
Of a
an island.
mansion?
You're quite clever, my friend.
Like to put that, or I like to claim so. Now,
As-
the question is, what are you doing with this ability?
Well, you see, it just so happens that I'm not the greatest fan of magic, you see.
I take a look around and be like, clearly, it shows that your interests lie in different fields.
Exactly. We Atois are a very proud species. However, my brethren seem to have forgotten that pride and mingled with magic, and you Cielians. As such, I feel a need to remind them of the superiority that is technology.
You know, there are some Etois who find pride in both magic and technology. I knew one such. Perhaps your ways are not so forgotten, and you're simply full of yourself.
I
Well.
just take a look at him and be like, pardon my acquaintance here. We stopped at a bar along the way, so he's a little... And I make a motion of, like, a little bit of out of it right now.
Well, if that's the case, well, it wouldn't be too strange for a pair of acquaintances to go to a bar in the evening and kind of go out into the darkness of the night and in that drunken stupor end up in some sort of accident.
It also isn't too uncommon for seedy rich men to find their secrets exposed to the world on the end of a sword.
At this point, I'm slowly just placing my hand on my daggers, just in case.
It seems
And-
you've forgotten the superiority of my people.
It seems
And-
you've forgotten the superiority of mine.
I just take a look at the two. Oh, okay, fellas. How about we just take a deep breath here? I think we all want to know more about that medallion and the key. May I ask, Master Norvell, what does this key absorb? A certain type of magic, or is it all magics?
Well, have you perhaps ever heard of nocturnal magic? I assume that lizard brain over there might have.
Would I...
magics?
You would have maybe heard some like rumors and like kind of hearsay about it, but you just kind of think it's a fake thing, like doesn't exist.
Well, you see, my people, that being not the Draconis, but the scholars of the Argentum Academy, tend to focus more on things that exist rather than fanciful ideas. I'm sure you're not aware of how these things work, but some of us have more important things to attend to.
The Toa clicks his tongue as he closes in towards Phalor.
I just take a step back.
How narrow-minded you are. You poor creature.
Phalor's gonna bare his fangs.
See? Savages, all of you.
I just grab Phalor by the arm afterwards. It's like, as you can see, my friend had a little too much, and I really should be getting him in bed, but I really wanted to know what that medallion was. Now that we know, if we could have it back, we can give it to and I just look at him just like, your sister, right? That could take a look at this as well? See where it goes to? And I give him a big little bit tug on the arm in hopes that he gets the idea of what I'm trying to do. And
Yes.
get us out.
I do believe that that would be a good idea. She is quite knowledgeable about these things. We just wanted to get an alternate opinion.
Yes. Kind of like a doctor here, a second opinion.
Well, that sounds clever and all. However, I don't think that's a good idea. He snaps his fingers, and suddenly that ominous feeling from before kind of overcomes both of you again.
Shit.
I knew this was happening. Well, it's stronger.
However, it's affecting. It's also affecting the three outside. I can point out.
God, what? It's back.
Oh, this isn't good. We need to get in there.
However,
I put another mask over my face.
however, it's specifically affecting two of you a bit differently. Phalor and Axel, you feel a lot more on edge, and almost as if your instincts kind of increase your ferocity and aggression if something were to instigate something.
I start trying to open the door quite aggressively.
I'm drawing my sword, and my teeth are bared even more. I'm looking down at this man, and there's just hate in my face.
I'm slowly making my way towards a window.
He kind of stretches out his arm in a T-pose, still holding the medallion in his one hand.
T-pose!
Started T-pose for dominance.
Kind of, see, this is what your kind is reduced to.
I'll show you what you'll be reduced to in time.
You are completely incapable of anything. You can't even lay a scratch on my kind.
I'm gonna spread my wings out, and I assume that I'm not entirely of my own faculties at this point.
No, you are having a very hard time just holding back instincts of violence.
And
Then-
I slowly just pull out my daggers very slowly while those two are kind of locked on eyes.
I'm gonna
I
aggressively
want to
start
charge
beating on the
forward.
door.
Sword in hand, I want to go towards this guy.
And give me a D20 just to see how well your attack goes.
Why do I always roll so low?
You're too drunk for this shit, old man.
I'll fuck all three of you.
Your sword goes out towards him. He merely kind of grabs it like by your hand, kind of See? Completely weak and oh so easily exploited.
Out of character question. I mean, is this thing affecting me in a very certain way too?
No,
Or is it
you're
just,
just
like,
feeling the
nauseating
same
me?
ominous as before.
Okay. Is Novell like having his back to me now?
Yes.
All right. I want to sneak up behind him and basically, with my daggers, probably in one fell swoop, cut off his hand for that medallion.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me a d20 to see how well your attack goes.
Nope.
Fuck.
You stumble a bit on something on the floor, and instead of hitting the arm, your dagger goes straight through his heart.
Oh shit! Just
Oops, accidental
oh, no.
merger.
Oops.
No one saw that. It wasn't me.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not seeing much but myself and this pompous old fucking ferryman.
He committed suicide. We all saw it.
He simply goes, "Well, as I said, you've forgotten how superior my species is," he says as he kind of turns his head back towards you. And you both remember that Etoise can't die.
Oh,
I just take a look at them and was like, oh no.
Well, you guys still aren't in the room yet.
Nope.
No,
We're trying
meanwhile,
to open the door.
meanwhile outside, the three of you, after feeling this effect, trying to get in, suddenly the same type of creatures you saw before appear.
Oh no.
This is
Can-
why you don't split the party.
can you do the pouncing on them?
Oh, trust me, I can do something much worse.
However, as you're doing this, these creatures kind of appear, and well, you notice that there are more creatures than the ones next, like around you. There seem to be other creatures throughout this area in general. You can kind of see the red lines kind of darting to and from around this, like, entire district.
What do we do here? Axel?
You guys just kind of see like the fur all over my body is just kind of like slowly standing up. My hands are just like twitching. My claws are out, and like I'm like baring my fangs, and I am in a rage right now.
This is not good. Let me tell you that. The last time I've seen him be like that was when a guy tried to do bad things to me. So this is not good.
Oh.
We probably should get rid of those though.
Well then, the three of you can roll for battle for now.
Okay.
The D10.
Yes.
Duh.
Duh. Duh.
Duh. I
Well
was like,
then.
oh.
Let me.
He's still shaken up by seeing the giant lion man, just angry. Just oh no.
Let's see. It's this and then this and then this.
What is this, and this? Oh, that is this, and this.
And then
Oh,
you get that, you get that, and you that. Now then,
Yeah, come back.
Skya, you're acting first.
Yeah, let's go with double speed here.
Alright, which target?
Wait, that one.
Alright. Do you want to move to melee range or?
I do want to move to melee range, yeah.
Alright. So 1, 2, 3. Alright, give me 2d4s.
Ba, 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 ba.
You attack with your claws, kind of. It's doing something. Your first hit deals lands a decent hit. The second one kind of wears off a bit and kind of goes beside. But you use the momentum of the failed hit to still kind of reach around and kind of at least deliver another kind of slightly weaker hit, but still a hit. So then there you go. Then Axel.
All right. One. All right, so I am gonna move. Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4 over to this guy, and I'm without even grabbing my staff. Like as I'm running, I'm basically just going to like drop my hands down, scrape my claws against the ground, and basically get like stone gauntlets on my hands, and I'm just going to start beating this guy with 2 speed cards.
All right, you kind of dart about like a animal hunting as you kind of get close in, pull up 2 rocks that forms around your fists, and you then just roll me 2d4s as you pummel it.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's 2 crits. You gave it a solid left hook, followed by a right uppercut, and then you clasp both your stone gauntlet-clad fists together and just smash it straight into the ground. As it's kind of now half, like it's basically face planted into the ground. How do you finish it?
Basically, I like just kind of take the stone gauntlets and I just kind of like throw them off to the sides. I reach down, grab him, and just rip him in half as I just start like roaring into the air.
All right, as you rip it apart and it kind of disintegrates in your hand. Okay, Janae.
Alright, let's see. Okay, so I move just down to here. That should be close enough for stuff.
Also, I'm just gonna do this because you have done 3 crits by now, so... There you go. Okay, so you're done going down to this one?
Yeah.
Okay, there. Yep.
I think that's in range, right, for my spell?
Yes.
Okay. So, what I am going to do is I am going to cast fire twice with my 2 skill attacks.
Alright, double skill.
And with that, I am going to hit the one to my left and also try and finish off the one next to Skya.
Alright, give me 2d4s.
Alright.
Okay. So that one and then that one. You ignite the fire end of your staff again. And as you kind of spell it out twice, once in each direction, and the first hit lands, dealing. And then the other one finishes off the one next to Skaya, as it kind of sputters out in fire and disintegrates. And then you kind of use the momentum from before to kind of spin the staff around above your head, and basically in an agile cast of magic, you fire out almost like a slash of fire towards the remaining one. Basically. And then that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. You're actually max now. Then it's the enemy's turn, which, seeing and like the gruesome death of his friend to his left, is gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, and is gonna attack Axel.
Does Axel still have the defense bonus from my Earth on?
No, but he does have from Stone Fervor.
Okay.
So 5, and your defense currently is at 3 plus. Let's see.
It should be +1 of its stone favor.
Yes. Unless you want to spend the Stone Favor to further increase it, of course. Because you get 1 just for gaining Stone Favor, but then you can spend it to give a target, including yourself, of course, +1 as well for each stack you want to spend.
Yeah. Because I should have 2.
It's currently reducing the damage from 5 to 3. So literally, if you add any more, that's basically the most you can reduce it.
Or go ahead and spend 1 to reduce it.
All right. You go, and you only take 1 damage from that. As it basically it's basically like trying to scratch. It's basically scratching at a stone. Like your chest basically is as hard as a cliff face.
I understood clit face and I said, what?
I heard Cliff.
Well, Skaya, it's your action now.
Oh yeah. I'm moving right there.
Alright.
And let's see.
And let me deal 2 new cards to you.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Ine and Axel.
Let's see. I will boop the boop and I will boop the boop. There we go.
Strong and skill. Okay.
Yes.
Roll me a d6 and a d4.
Crits?
Damn.
Oh, 1 crit.
Alright. That is enough. You kind of claw at it and then kind of almost punch claw it at the same time. How do you finish it?
Oh boy, I basically just tear through it.
You tear through it until there is a hole through it where you can see Axel's face.
Yes. Hi, Dad!
Well then, as this happens, meanwhile inside the mansion, the Etoile has kind of just pushed you both away from himself. Well, I'll have to thank you for this key. I was actually trying to get it off that beast. I guess you carried it for me, so I'll let you witness the end of your pathetic kind. He says, as he basically goes over to a desk in the room, push a button, and the window opens up, and he begins to just glide/hover out of the window.
Could I try to tackle him through with my wings out and follow him?
The window is too small for you to go out with your wings, so you would have to jump out without flying and then try and get flight going while in the air.
I'll go for it, damn it. I am angry and not thinking straight necessarily.
Alright, give me a roll.
Is it D20?
Yes.
Okay.
You manage to not really tackle him, but you do manage to kind of keep up with him for now.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Drake, what do you do as you see this happen?
I'm just mad that I didn't catch this sooner. So what I'm trying to do now is see on his desk to see if there was a button to unlock the door real quick, so I can get out. Because I'm assuming I'm on the second floor.
Yeah, give me a perception for that D20 with advantage. You manage to find a button that does indeed seem to be unlocking the door.
Excellent. Now I run back outside to see where Phalor and Norvel flew off to.
Yeah. You run back outside, and as you roughly around the same time as you reach the gate where the others has just finished off these creatures, Phalor, you were kind of above, and you noticed that he flew longer than you can currently keep up with. But you did manage to at least catch roughly the direction he was heading in.
He's making away! Said something about the end of our kind! But he forgets that he is a guest in our home!
You notice that the way he was heading was towards what seemed to be a private dock for airships.
It's heading to the docks! We must head him off!
You even in condition to run right now?
I'm in plenty of condition to do whatever I want! Better than I've ever been. I'll show that to Tua what I couldn't show Zashir.
Alright, I know a shortcut to the docks. Follow me and keep up.
As you start running towards the docks, Phalor and Janaeus tight on your heel. The still aggravated Axel is also following. Skya.
At this point, I'm running on all fours.
Yeah, the ominous feeling from before has started to change for you.
Shit. Oh no. I'm scared.
There's gonna be a feral pack of animals by the end of this.
Let me just check how safe I am real
I
quick.
think that's
Okay.
what he meant.
Suddenly, seeing you kind of as being lone over here, suddenly you hear the sound of an arrow.
An arrow.
And before you know it, while the others kind of have started to run, Axel,
Oh.
you turn around and you see that someone from over here shot an arrow towards Skya.
I immediately start running to get in front of it.
Specifically, it's a group of humane guards that have mistaken her for one of the creatures.
Yep. My statement still stands. I immediately run and try to get in front of her to protect her.
You make your way towards her. And let's see, 2, 3, 4. As this happens, I'm gonna let you alone take a combat action now,
Okay.
as these guards are closing in. You alone get to choose an action here. It's your combat turn.
Alright. I'm gonna throw down 2 skills, and I'm basically going to try, like, as I'm running, I'm basically gonna try and, like, pick up two big balls of stone, and I'm just gonna hurl them at the guy on the left and the guy on the right.
Okay. You grab 2 boulders, like you basically take chunks out of the pavement as you just hurl them to each side. Give me 2d4s. Your luck on the d4s is uncanny.
I swear I have not altered anything.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
a computer.
Well,
Papa mode.
RN Jesus knows I need to protect my daughter.
I put something relevant in the mute chat.
and then you also have enough for a double up. So after you yeet these rocks, basically, you then basically just take another chunk of the pavement and lift it up, and then just throws the entire chunk towards the enemy, crushing this one, severely injuring this one, and injuring this one to some extent.
Whoops.
Self-defense.
Is it really self-defense? Is it if it's defense of someone else?
Yes.
So, now everyone else is noticing this, but first the enemy is gonna get their turn. Seeing the situation, they are clearly gonna attack the main target, that being Axel.
Thank God.
So their attacks respectively are. So one of them does. Let's see. One of them does no damage, and the other one does 1 damage.
How
One of
cute.
them miss you completely, and the other one literally just slightly like it's the arrow tip basically like almost bounces off you.
Boing.
Everyone else, let's see, let's see. I'm still gonna keep, before everyone else rolls an action, Axel, you have another, you can act again because you are first in the turn order no matter what right now.
Alright, so I can go again?
Yes, I shall
You're just gonna
deal,
crush them before the others get here.
shall deal you another 2 cards, as well as, where are you? There you are.
Okay. Yet again, I'm gonna go with, actually, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna run over here.
Alright, which tile exactly?
This one here.
Alright.
And I'm going, what?
Sorry.
I'm gonna throw down 2 skill attacks, and I'm basically going to, just start tearing into these guys with my claws.
Alright.
It's 2d4. Okay.
Still one crit. Well,
Jeez, you and your D4s.
Wait.
Okay.
It says I can use a stone favor to increase the user's damage by 2. Can I do that?
yes.
I'm gonna do that.
All right. You further enforce your attacks with rocks. How do you want to finish both of them?
Basically, I'm just gonna do the classic. I just run up to them. I grab them both by the sides of their heads, and I just slam their heads into each other.
To make it even more so, you create a rock between their heads.
Oh my
Oh! Stuck between a rock and a hard place.
However, in this blind rage you're currently in, you've succumbed so much to your rage now
Oh no.
that you're having difficulty telling friend from foe.
Oh shit.
Oh, great.
Uh-oh.
Everyone else can roll for where in the combat turn they are.
I love how all of you are just like, oh shit.
Yeah, we're just like, fuck. We got a pissed off. Of course.
Wait, does it? Are we gonna be basically trying to defend from him?
Yes.
Yes,
Ah,
I don't want to kill him.
we may have to.
Well, we don't have to kill him.
Do you really think that you can calm down that little kitty over there right now?
Maybe.
No.
There's a very good chance we're killing him by accident.
If you kill him by accident, I will fucking pierce your skull with my hand.
That
While
depends
this is
on
going
the
on,
roll.
you just see me just like roaring into the skies. I'm just like throwing bodies everywhere.
Well, let's see. So, Phalor,
yes.
you're first.
So, I'm looking back and seeing him, and I was like, "Has everyone forgotten that we are currently chasing someone?" What would happen if I were to like try to head toward the docks, or should I try to? I don't know.
You can start heading towards the docks. Yes, if you want.
So, I would say, as opposed to the insane rage, this one, I'm more single-handedly focused rage on this guy who has not only insulted my people, but has also potentially suggested ending the world, which he quite likes at this point. So I want him to start heading off as fast as he can towards where Novell went.
All right. Phalor starts heading off in that direction. Next then is let's see, Yune. You are now torn between what to do here. What do you do?
Okay, so it says that I can use the elements at a larger scale at a disadvantage, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what I want to do is I want to does it change what the spell itself like does, like what it affects, or will water still heal? Will
You can choose, like, basically you can like manipulate the elements themselves. You can just say that you want to cover an area with like a massive wave of water or something, like, for example.
Okay, yes. So what I want to do is I want to I can use speed only. Never mind, I don't have a skill attack. Okay, so I will just I guess also continue to help Phalor because because I've gotta help the research. I've gotta help, and because I don't have anything to like plausibly calm down the situation, he'll continue to go with.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Next off then is Drake.
Oh, right. Forgot I had push to talk on. Let's see. What are my passives? What can I do real quick? I am going to cast Queen
Alright.
onto Skaya.
Alright. Skaya now has a buff that will grant her extra charge whenever she critically successes.
Oh boy.
And with that, knowing I'm just going to try to keep my distance from him, so I actually move... Where's my thing? I move this way back,
Alright.
because I don't want to be anywhere near him.
I'm being left alone here!
You're not being left alone. It's just...
You're all running off.
Well, we
No, I gave you a buff. I gave you a fighting chance.
You gave me a tiny chance of survival.
I mean, I figure you're the one who's most likely to fucking snap him out of shit, because you're like his daughter.
He's like, huh, yeah,
Probably not.
Look, if I had a skill attack, I would have helped, but I can't cast any spell, so it was either that or I just run at him and bonk him with a stick.
And I literally have skills
he's a
that
bad kitty. Somebody get the
honestly
spray
could
bottle.
help.
Bad kitty.
We're a very offensive party. Healing somebody is...
Looks at
We don't
me
have a
having
healing ability,
I have
Spartan.
healing
I
ability.
can
What the
heal.
fuck are you talking about?
I can, but I need a skill card.
For me, it's just strong, and it's only
Scott-
R&D.
Skaya,
Ow.
it's your action.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I'm moving like right at him. Like I'm literally just
Oh no.
sprinting full speed at him.
Okay.
So you have chosen death.
Well, it was nice knowing her.
Okay, wait, I have 2 cards. Okay, wait.
Imagine all of you just turn around and just look at her. Oh no.
I shall also point this out for the sake of so you're aware. You currently have 9 out of 10 charge, which means that you do have charge status for in case you want to activate the Malefic Rose thingy.
Wait a second, we all have charge?
You're at 10 charge. Look at the character sheet.
So am
Oh.
I.
I didn't know what counted as like. Okay, never mind. I'll
Hey,
remember.
you know what? If that's the case, I will consume that status and gain Malefic Rose.
All right. You now have you pull out from your own shadow basically a scythe made of some sort of magical energy, but it's somewhat sinister in nature. Is how Thaler and Janae would sense it.
Okay, let's see. I mean, I only have strong and speed attack right now anyway. So I'm just gonna eat those at the boy. God fucking damn it.
All right, give me a D4 and a D6.
It just has to decapitate her dad.
The whistling screams really sell it.
You try and attack with both claw and scythe. The first attack, literally, your claws can literally not even penetrate like his fur.
I have become a god.
And your scythe attack does the equivalent of a paper cut and deals 1 damage to him.
I'm losing my mind, I'm gonna die.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
great.
I'm sorry. I just want to put this in perspective real quick. This would be fucking terrifying. If like you pull out like your strongest ability and it just barely scratches me, and then that would be terrifying.
I mean, now I also have like no cards left.
Yeah. This is fighting the anime villain, except it's like the first time you meet, and
And
they
it's
just kind of
also
know
like your
something.
own father. It's like your own dad that picked you up in the forest and just was like, "Oh my god, it's a baby!"
This is oh motherfucker
I am your
moment.
father.
No.
Well then, Axel, it's your turn.
Oh no. I don't want to do this. RNGesus, please hate me.
You must do what you must.
And your target, let's see.
Please don't be me. Please don't be me. Please don't be me.
It'll probably be you.
Yup.
Oh no! No! I don't want to kill my daughter. And so I have to play 2 cards, or can I just play 1?
You have to play 2 cards.
All I have is a speed and a skill.
Give me
What's
2
next on
d4s. In the order is the one order they are currently placed in. So the first dice will be the skill, and the second will be the speed.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus!
Okay. God, and Jesus, give us some good news.
The first attack misses. The second attack, however, you hit and with your staff. However, Skye managed to avoid most of it, mostly as taking a slight bruise.
Kinky.
That's your father.
All of you hear her say that. Wait, what?
I did not!
Yeah, just like.
Don't worry about it.
All of you
elect
and the
which
guy you're
guy.
chasing all just stop and slowly turn and look at us.
I haven't the time to dissect why that's so wrong, but it's temporarily made me think, what?
And I look at you and be like,
Axel,
and you say humans are gross?
Axel, I want you to roll a d20.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Get a horrible roll, come on.
Oh boy.
You're so enraged, you get another turn.
Oh no!
I wish I could see
Oh
Jay's
no!
face.
Why
He's
did I get
probably
these? Why did I get these cards? I know I have to, but oh no!
He's probably enjoying himself.
Is it my turn or what's going on?
Yeah, it's your turn again.
Oh shit! I feel I have to stay in I have to stay in character.
Oh, fuck.
You know that
I'm in a
Peter Griffin
rage.
falling down the stairs, like just his holding his fucking leg. That's me, like right now. So,
D6 and a d4.
D6 and a D4. Oh.
Okay.
As you basically form a large boulder next to you that you're kind of telekinetically launching while also attacking with your staff. Skye, roll me a d20.
oh Lord!
This is actually making me uneasy. Holy shit!
As this is as suddenly as the impact should have come, Skye, you hear a growling noise.
Rawr.
Something that you can only describe as a strange mixture between like some sort of black pure energy
Blub.
and a fox and a bunny. has emerged from your shadow.
What am I witnessing?
You're witnessing my babies.
However,
I'm a grandfather.
they are a lot larger than you remember.
Oh, fuck.
They are about the size of Thalor.
Wait, how tall is Faber?
We discussed like, what was it? He was like 6'7", wasn't he? I thought we said
Something like that.
Huh. That's big. I die. Goodbye.
And they both completely just take the attack head on without any sort of flinching.
Oh no.
This is gonna end bad.
They then both grab one arm each of Axel.
Oh no.
Until he calms down.
Oh,
Do I have to make a roll?
You
Please
have
don't
to.
make a-
You can make a roll to see how much you remember. Give me a d20 to see. You remember very little.
Would I
Of
be
what
able to roll with
Jessica?
advantage if she tries to like talk to me and like help pull me out of it?
Yeah, sure.
The question is, do you actually do that?
I mean, you tried to kill your daughter. She's standing there in shock.
okay, so no advantage.
Maybe. Because she wants you to know what happened, because I know for a fact that you will beat yourself up over it.
You roll another one then.
Oh,
You dumb fuck.
a casino old man at the retirement home. What?
Daddy, you hit me. No.
Ah, you tried to launch a giant fucking rock at me. No, I never did that.
I did, however, have a dream of having a pillow fight with you. Don't you remember that?
Oh god.
Rocks.
However, after this ordeal, the creatures then return to their normal size and then just jump into your shadow again.
My little babies. You're cute. They will kill you, but they're cute.
And
I thought they were just cuddle monsters.
you then continue on your kind of after the others after this. Axel, you're kind of just confused at what has happened.
That sounds about right.
I'm confused
can-
of what I
I-
just witnessed.
I mean,
What?
Don't worry about it.
I just look at her. Did you just spawn creatures from your shadow?
Let's not talk about that.
If you're done with your cat fight, we have other things to attend to. Am I
will
still
clip your
enraged?
wing.
You're still enraged, yes.
Okay, yeah. Then I
Okay.
really don't even hear them.
Okay, I snap back out of it. Yeah, we need to get back after Norvell.
You make your way towards the docks, and as you are doing this, you see you get there too late. As you arrive, Novel has just taken off in a one-man ship.
Can I freeze it?
It's too far out of range.
God fucking damn it. Dad, yeet me at it!
No, we're not throwing again.
God, not this again.
I just spear the lizard man again.
Yeah.
I thought I was the one thrown.
Failure,
Yes, but you know.
The target
Failure
is
is
still
still
up.
angry, so he's starting towards the dock, and I think he's actually looking like he's gonna try to jump through the divide like he did when he was a kid.
There is nothing there exactly, but there is one like unmanned ship there that's kind of probably someone's hobby boat. You make your way towards, but as you do, you are snapped out of your rage. As you know, and you are, because you notice where the ship that you are going to pursue is heading.
Where?
Towards the remnant of Hellel.
We have to get after it somehow. Can we commission this ship?
Well, I can give it a 5-finger discount.
Do whatever you must.
All right. I take a look at the ship real quick, and using the only dagger I have now, because I'm assuming the other one is still in the chest of Norvell.
Yes.
I never got it back. I just start cutting the rope off of or at least quickly cutting the rope off for the ship, and take a look over and be like, just stay at guard really quick while I do this, okay?
Phalor is gonna start watching and standing still. It's all right. What's the story? He put the knot on too tight. It's just absolute mess.
I just take a look at him like, no story. Just tell me if someone's coming.
Got it. Okay, I'm gonna keep my eyes out then. Fly up a little bit so I can see anybody further away coming closer.
I then also take a look at Yane and be like, Yane,
Yeah?
keep an eye on that ship.
Which ship are in the dock?
The one that just left!
Oh, okay.
You're doing fine, child.
We are so nice to him.
We're too nice to him. I will eat him. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so Janae starts
It's like
looking
Paimon,
over
emergency
and-
food.
You look towards the ship, and just as you see it's about to reach, you hear the engine start of the ship next to you. Drake, you managed to get the engine working on the airship that you were trying to get working.
Oh, gotcha. All right, everyone on board.
Phalor is gonna try to land right on the bow.
You all make your way onto the ship, and as you're making your way, the ship, you do realize that your ship is fast enough to probably catch up, but it is still not super fast. You get very close. The thing is, you remember something. How are you gonna kill him?
Phalor, do you have any idea how to defeat this guy? Because I recall my knife is still in his heart.
Right.
Oh, happy birthday, Skya!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
She's legal.
It's
What's it?
That was Mickey.
from IndyQ. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Carry on. We're chasing an immortal ferryman.
Anytime you say immortal ferryman, I just picture this like 3'4" little like midget that's just poning all of us.
Yeah. Well, so you, Skya, you remember something suddenly.
Wait, what the fuck do I remember?
That medallion that was being held by that you found earlier.
Huh.
You suddenly remember it.
Hold on a fucking second.
That you remember that before you came to the forest with the animals, you were attacked by an etoile when you were just a small little fox cub or whatever it's called.
Cub sounds right.
However,
Pup.
Pup. Yeah, it's
you
pup.
remember that someone wielding some sort of person
Some sort of person, nice.
you don't remember who they were or what they looked like, but you remember that they used the medallion to absorb the energy that the etoile used to regenerate himself.
Ah! Oh my god! My brain! It's just going.
You seem to have occurred a brain blast.
Well, you see, I just
God damn it.
remembered something, which is
Thanks,
probably
Jimmy.
important.
I'm just-
So, you see, when I was younger, I was attacked by one of his people, and there was this person basically using that medallion thing to absorb their energy.
Why did you not remember this before we handed it to him?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's all in the past now. The point
I was
is,
a pup. I don't really remember much.
The thing is, you now realize that the ship is not gonna catch up in time. You need to get something even faster to reach in time to potentially stop. So,
such as the storm.
What about...
well,
If
the storm
I-
is currently surrounding the ship.
Well, what if I assisted by using the wind?
Well, in that case, ready to fly, Phalor.
Okay, Phalor is going to go to the bow and stretch out his wings, and he's going to say, "Young student, your studies have brought us to this point. Send me forward to our enemy. I will
Should I
remove
throw
the medallion.
If you
No
want to.
throwing me. The wind shall be enough."
Everyone's like, no!
No, I'm just laughing like, I'd like to see that.
You feel the wind energy envelop you, protecting you from the storm. And you fly across the lightning storm, feeling the satisfaction of succeeding. Just as the man is about to put the medallion into what looks to be a hole in one of the remnants of the morning star, you grab a hold of the dagger sticking out of his back and electrocute it.
Show your superiority now! Sorry.
Before he can regenerate the damage you cause, you grab his arm and activate the medallion by holding it so the symbol faces towards him. And you can see as, instead of regenerating, his ether disperses into the storm.
We did it. Well, we don't know that, but he does.
Right. I look into the medallion and take the reins of the ship, pulling it back from Hillel and turning towards the ship that everyone else is on.
You rendezvous with them and make your way back towards the kingdom of Vermeil. Drake, you remember that the man who you fought originally in that alley that turned into a monster? Right, that was the person you were sent to eliminate.
I don't know whether it was the fight or everything that's happened, but yes, that guy that had the medallion, he was my target.
Because you now remember that your employer was one of the guards you saw in the mansion of that Etoile of Novelle.
We're all remembering such convenient things.
Yeah, well, I had to hurry up, okay?
I know, no, I understand.
Yeah. It's like, oh man, oh, how did I forget that? I feel like an idiot right now.
Phalor, you're going to have to bear with us, Professor. We're getting plot convenience.
I'm getting such a headache from all this knowledge.
Didn't you tell me something about the fourth wall and whatnot? Anyhow, Johnny, you've done very well.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I get us pulled into the dock and just think, alright, with the medallion in hand, I'm assuming there's a finder's fee, of course, again, and now I can go back to that guard and collect my payment.
Phalor attempts to dock the ship, but he overshoots it a little bit and kind of the bow cracks on the dock.
You make your way from the scene of the crash.
Oh no, my insurance would be terrible if I stuck around.
Be a shame.
And as the two mages return to the academy, Drake returns to his work, and Axel and Skya heads off towards their next position. You don't remember much, Axel.
Mm-hmm.
But you feel a sense of pride for doing something. Unbeknownst to you, you did exactly the thing your father could not.
Gasp.
Control his anger.
Exactly.
Oh.
And that's a hurried, but still an end.
All
want
we needed
more.
was bunnies.
I really enjoyed
What
that.
did you say?